I wish we didn't have this story to tell. I wish that we just had our healthy baby girl and everything had been exactly as we thought it would be and exactly as we expected it would be. We had a beautiful baby girl on February 19th, 2008.
Come home to, I guess, your typical balloons, neighbors, with your family there.
That evening, we put our daughter down for rest. She had fallen asleep. About an hour and a half later, I woke up startled, thinking, why hasn't she woken up to breastfeed?
She woke me up screaming, saying there's something wrong, something's going on. Layla was very pale, very limp, unresponsive.
And we got her down on the living room floor and started doing CPR. We just continued for about 12 minutes until the paramedics arrived. She had suffered from a full cardiac arrest in her sleep, and they pretty much explained to us that there was zero chance of survival at this point.
It was very hard to think that, your little girl that just been born 3 days prior, might not be making it through this. They had us and all of our family basically come in and say goodbye.
Having been through this situation and having been through everything we've been through, I feel like it's our mission now to make sure that as many parents know CPR as possible. Because we knew CPR, we were able to sustain her life until the paramedics came and took over. On October 7th, 2009, she walked for the first time. When she walked, I just pretty much knew that everything was going to be completely fine.
Say, learn CPR.
CPR.
Yeah, CPR.
Hello, I'm Lydia Mackey. CPR is short for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. CPR can keep blood and oxygen moving to the heart and brain for someone whose heart has stopped beating. In this video, I will show you how to provide CPR for infants, that is, children younger than 12 months old. I'll show you each step of CPR a little at a time, then you'll practice along with me. Anyone who provides care for an infant can and should learn these simple skills. Even if you haven't had any CPR training before, don't worry, it's easy. If you have a remote control for your video player, keep it near you so you can pause to practice, or replay anything you want to see again. Before we get started, it's important for you to know that the #1 reason people don't give CPR to someone who needs it is that they're afraid of doing CPR wrong. A person whose heart has stopped beating will not get better without immediate help. Any CPR is better than no CPR. Your actions can only help. We're going to teach you effective CPR, and you'll get many chances to practice. You'll learn how to push hard and push fast, so the blood keeps moving until medical professionals take over. In your CPR learning kit, you'll find a couple of things. First, there is Mini Baby. The Mini Baby is a training mannequin designed to help you learn infant CPR and know how to help the baby that is choking. You'll also find a skills reminder card to help you practice after the video is over. Now let me show you how to get your Mini Baby ready. Find the tube of your Mini Baby and blow it up, like this. Try to inflate Mini Baby so that it feels firm. When you can't blow any more air into Mini Baby, pinch the tube here to keep the air in, while you plug up the end of the tube, like this. If you need more time to get Mini Baby ready, just pause the video now. Now your mini baby is ready, so let's get started. First, place mini baby in front of you on a firm, flat surface above the ground, such as a table. Her legs should be to one side. Now let's try the easiest part first, pushing on the chest. With an infant, you'll use your fingers for that. Watch me to see where they should go. Imagine a line right between the nipples. Put the tips of 2 fingers just below that line in the middle of the chest. Point your fingers straight down. Okay, now you do it. Place the tips of 2 fingers in the middle of the chest, just below an imaginary line drawn between the nipples. And now, push straight down about 1.5 inches and let the chest rise all the way back up. Avoid pressing on the tip of the breastbone. You should hear a clicking sound when you push down. That will let you know that you've pushed hard enough. Push hard and be sure to let the chest rise all of the way back up after each push. Okay? Do it with me. Push hard and push fast, about 1.5 inches. Follow along with the beat of the music. Let's go. Be sure to let the chest rise all of the way back up after each push. Push hard, straight down, about 1.5 inches. Listen for the click. Make sure that your fingers are in the middle of the chest, just below that imaginary line between the nipples. We're almost there. Be sure to let the chest rise all the way back up after each push. All right, you did great. You've just done one part of CPR, pumping blood through the body. Now I'll show you another part of CPR, giving breaths. Watch me for a moment while I show you where to put your hands. Put one hand on the forehead and ease the head back while lifting the chin with the fingers of your other hand. Okay, now you try that. One hand on the forehead, the fingers of your other hand just under the chin. Be careful not to put your hand on her neck. Otherwise, air won't go in or out. Now let me show you how to get air into the mini baby. Watch me again for a moment. Completely cover mini baby's mouth and nose with your mouth, like this. Now blow a gentle breath into mini baby for 1 second. It is very important for the chest to rise with each breath. Okay, now try that with me. One hand on the forehead, the fingers of your other hand just under the chin, keeping your hand away from her neck. Cover mini baby's mouth and nose with your mouth and blow in a gentle breath. Watch for the chest to rise on your mini baby. If you didn't see the chest rise, reposition the head and try again. If you want, back up the video and look at it again. Okay, now let's try a few pairs of breaths. Remember to watch for mini baby's chest to rise. Try a couple more breaths, and remember, keep the head tilted and the chin lifted and your hand away from her neck. After the first breath, let the chest go all the way back down and follow it with another breath. Great. Let's do one last pair of breaths, and remember, if the breath does not make the chest rise, reposition the head and try again. If you want more practice giving breaths, just pause the video and begin again when you're ready. Now let's combine the skills of pushing on the chest and giving breaths. Let's push on the chest 30 times and then give 2 breaths. Just like we did before, put the tips of 2 fingers on the middle of mini baby's chest, just below that imaginary line between the nipples. Point your fingers straight down and push down about 1.5 inches. You'll hear the clicking sound when you've pushed hard enough. Do this 30 times. 1, 2, 3. Remember, Push down about 1.5 inches. You'll hear a click if you're pushing hard enough. Let the chest rise all the way back up after each push. 28, 29, 30. Now we'll give 2 breaths once again. Tilt the head back and lift the chin, keeping your hand away from her neck. Completely cover mini baby's nose and mouth with your mouth and blow in a gentle breath. Blow in only enough air to make the chest rise. Once the chest goes all the way back down, do it again. Okay, now let's practice another set of 30 pushes and 2 breaths. 1, 2, 3. Push straight down, about 1.5 inches. Don't be afraid to push hard. Be sure to let the chest rise all the way back up after each push. 28, 29, 30. And quickly give 2 more breaths. Let's do one more set of 30 pushes and 2 breaths. First, the pushes. 1, 2, 3. Push hard, straight down, about 1.5 inches. Be sure to let the chest rise all of the way back up after each push. 28, 29, 30. And quickly give 2 more breaths. That's great. If you need to rest, stop the video and begin again when you're ready. Now you're getting the feel for how to push and give breaths, but I want to show you a couple of steps that lead up to that, like figuring out if the baby really needs CPR and how to get help. Watch me for a moment. The first thing you should do is gently tap the baby's foot and shout something like her name. Baby? Baby. If she doesn't respond, she's not just sleeping and we better get some help. Call out to see if anyone is nearby who can help. Help! I need some help! If there is someone else around, quickly tell that person to call 911 and say it like you mean it. You! Call 911 now! If the baby is not responding or she is only gasping, she needs CPR immediately. Okay, let's practice those steps together. We'll tap and shout, yell for help, and check the baby's breathing. Follow along with me. Gently tap the baby's foot and shout something like her name. Baby? Baby! The baby doesn't respond, so call out for help. Someone come and help me now! If someone arrives, tell that person to get help and say it like you mean it. You! Call 911 now! If the baby isn't breathing or is only gasping, she needs CPR right away. Good. Now let's put together all the steps we've learned. We're going to tap and shout, yell for help, check the baby's breathing, and then start CPR. We'll do 5 sets of 30 compressions and 2 breaths. Let's go. Baby? Baby? Someone come and help me now. You, call 911 now. If the baby isn't breathing or is only gasping, start CPR. Give 30 pushes. Listen for the click. That will tell you you're pushing hard enough. Don't be afraid to push hard. Be sure to let the chest rise all of the way back up after each push. 28, 29, 30, and 2 breaths. And 30 more pushes. If you need to rest, stop the video and start again when you're ready. Be sure to let the chest rise all of the way back up after each push. Don't be afraid to push hard. 28, 29, 30. Listen for the click. If you don't hear it, push a little harder. Push straight down, about 1.5 inches. Push fast. Be sure to let the chest rise all of the way back up after each push. 28, 29, 30. If you need to rest, stop the video and start again when you're ready. Be sure to let the chest rise all of the way back up after each push. Don't be afraid to push hard. One, two, three. Listen for the click. If you don't hear it, push a little harder. Push straight down, about 1.5 inches. Be sure to let the chest rise all of the way back up after each push. 28, 29, 30, and the last pair of breaths. Now you've done 5 sets of pushes and breaths. If no one was around to phone 911, now is the time to make the call yourself. The dispatcher will ask you some important questions so they can send help quickly and to the right place. When you return to the infant to continue CPR, do not hang up the phone unless you are told to do so by the dispatcher. Unless the infant is injured and should not be moved, it's okay to carry the infant to the phone with you when you go to call 911. You should continue to provide CPR until medical professionals have arrived and taken over. Now, if you need to rest, stop the video and start again when you're ready. In many emergencies where an infant's heart has stopped beating, the problem begins with some type of breathing difficulty. Choking is a common cause of breathing problems among infants. That's why it's important to learn how to recognize and help a baby who's choking and can't breathe. Fast action can prevent things from going from bad to worse. When infants are choking, they cannot cry or make sounds. As they try to breathe, they may appear to be coughing but will not make noise. If you see any of these things, you should act immediately and help the baby. Here's what to do. Give 5 slaps to the back, right between the shoulder blades. With one arm, support the baby, face down, and with the head lower than the body. Now, with the heel of your other hand, give 5 slaps between the baby's shoulder blades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you try it with me. Hold the baby face down, supporting her head with your hand. Give 5 back slaps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If that does not clear the object, you'll need to push on the chest, much like you did when you performed CPR. Watch as I show you how. Turn the baby onto her back. With one arm, support the baby face up, with the head lower than the body. Place 2 fingers in the middle of the chest, just below the imaginary line between the nipples. Now push the chest 5 times to the same depth as you would for doing CPR. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do that again. First, give 5 firm slaps to the back, right between the shoulder blades. Hold the baby with one arm, face down, the head lower than the body. Support the baby's head with your hand. Give up to 5 firm slaps between the baby's shoulders, using the heel of your other hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If the object does not come out, turn the baby face up, holding her with the head slightly lower than the rest of her body. Place 2 fingers in the middle of the chest, just below the imaginary line in between the nipples. Now push on the chest up to 5 times to do the same depth as you would for CPR. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If the object still does not come out, repeat the series up to 5 back slaps and up to 5 chest thrusts until it does. If the infant stops responding, lay her on a firm surface above the ground and see if she needs CPR. Tap and shout. Yell for help. Someone come and help me now! Hey, you! Call 911 now! Then start pushing hard and fast and giving breaths, just like you've learned. Each time that you tilt the head and lift the chin to give breaths, briefly look in the mouth to see if the object has come out. If you see an object in the mouth, take it out. If after 5 sets of pushes and breaths, no one has called 911, you'll need to do that yourself. It's okay to carry the infant to the phone with you if you have to leave to make the call. Congratulations! You now know how to help an infant who needs CPR or is choking. Being prepared for emergencies like these is just one part of what you need to know in order to keep a baby safe and healthy. It is also important to know how to prevent accidents and injuries to your child. If you would like to know more about preventing common accidents and childhood injuries, visit the website of the American Academy of Pediatrics at aap.org. If you would like to know more about CPR or find a CPR class near you, please call the American Heart Association or visit our website at americanheart.org/CPR. For more information about CPR anytime and to order additional infant kits or kits for adults and children, visit www.shopcpranytime.org. Let's hope you never have to use CPR on an infant, but if the situation arises, don't hesitate. Tap and shout. Call 911 and begin CPR. Thanks for your time. Now, when someone asks you, "What did you do today?" give them this kit and show them.